Okay, I've just had a massive fight at Woolworths at Hornsby. There was a product here, it was a Gillette Razor Blade thing. It was all here, it was actually full pegs to the back. And I picked it up because that was the price ticket there, okay? Went to the registers and they denied me this price. I said, blah, 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 it's the wrong ticket against the wrong product or whatever. And I've just had a massive argument with the service manager and they would not let me go with the product because they had taken away the staff, quickly ran here and took the product away. And that's the price that was on it. I took photographs, thankfully, of what was here before. Now, as a consumer, who's right and who's wrong here? The service manager said it's the Woolworths policy that this goes on and I end up not walking out with the goods. And we're talking like a $5 difference. Okay, I am ropeable. Woolworths at Hornsby, toxic. I'm that hot and angry, I've just come outside to sit down next to the fountain of Hornsby to try and cool down. And somehow in store I didn't lose it. Man, I mean the problem is if you lose it then they call the cops on you. This is the receipt and I was hoping that the razor blades that I tried to buy, now were $28 that they came up for, they're actually not on this receipt, but I want the Woolworths management, higher management, to fully understand this receipt, time of day, blah, blah, blah. Now, my argument point was that your mistake doesn't become your win. Your mistake becomes the consumer's win, and I'm pretty sure that's the policy. And it's funny, they kept saying to me, the manager, the lady who said she was the manager kept saying to me, but the store policy. I heard the word the store policy probably about 50 times. And strangely, when you keep hearing that, you can think, well, maybe I'm in the wrong. I sent a little video to friends of mine, I said, Leo, you're in the right. But hey, I did warn them, I said, look, unfortunately, I'm a person online, I rarely ever use this lever. I said, I'm going to put this up online. We're going to discuss what went on here. And these are the other items that I purchased, and I've got no commercial connection to any of this other rubbish here. Yeah, and the underwear as well. What should be in there is the razor blades for $21. Maybe Woolworths will contact me and say, oh, well, sorry, Leo, it is our mistake. Or maybe they will enforce it. It's their policy to shaft consumers. Because it certainly seems like their policy is what they stand by. Okay, these pictures will reveal to you just how despicable this store acted against me. This is a great timeline of events. Nothing here has been edited or altered. The first picture is 8730. It was taken at 8:47 a.m. and it shows stock on pegs. You can see through the little eyelets there. There's plenty of stock there. The next picture is 8731. It's a closer up version of basically the same situation there, showing the price tag. Again, it was taken at 8:47 a.m. The next picture is 8732. It was taken at 8:52 a.m. All the stock has been removed. And what it reveals to you, in the 5 minutes I was at the checkout, staff in this store has come along and cleared out the stock from this area. Why have they done this? The service manager dragged me to this spot and of course she showed me, look, it's an empty peg. I had just picked up an item that had been misplaced on the wrong peg. How dare you play this despicable game on me? It was completely, fully pegged. I've got the evidence against you. Image 8733 at 9:02 a.m. is a thumbnail to the video that we see right up the start of this video where I start to talk about how staffers here have been playing a game against the consumer, and I have caught you out. Another very important thing about the first image I took of the stock on the pegs is, that's image 8730 at 8:47. I ran back from the checkout when I saw the wrong price come up and I took that photograph. That's the beginning of the argument in store. The receipt was generated at 8:52 a.m. These timeframes are very important in this. When I cleared the checkouts, I went immediately to the area where the razor blades were hanging. Guess what? Nothing there. They've all been taken away. That's image 8732, and the time is also 8:52 a.m., the same as the receipt. But the front service manager arguments and the constant referral back to store policy went on for some time more, and I can define the end of it by the time I started the video that you see at the start of this video, and that's image 8733 at 9:02 a.m. It was like 15 minutes of arguing, and I was never ever going to win. And yes, you're probably wondering, I showed the picture to the checkout staff to argue my point about the price when I saw that $28 came up at the checkout. I argued there for about 5 minutes, but that was 5 minutes enough for them to go and manipulate the store against me. And the amount of time I spent arguing with the front service manager, it may have been 6 to 8 minutes. It felt like an eternity. Yes, I told her I had photographs of the pegged stock before it was removed by their staff. And yes, I did inform her that this story would be going up online and it's not going to be pretty. There is a consumer safety net called the Supermarket Code of Conduct. Yes, Woolworths is part of this, and in relation to Woolworths' overcharging policy, let me read you this. Under Woolworths' price scan policy, if an item scans at a higher price than the ticketed price in store, customers can receive that item for free. Well, in my experience, trying to buy those razor blades, all I received was layers and layers of lies that were free. It's the next day now. I'm back at Westfield at Hornsby. I'm going to go down to Woolworths at Hornsby where I had that price debate, let's call it a debate, over what was seen on the pegs when I purchased something versus what miraculously disappeared when we went back to investigate it with a staff person. I bet you that stock has magically reappeared. And I'll tell you what, I'm still very, very angry about what happened yesterday. My close circle of friends have all heard this story. They can't believe what they did to me, the way I was treated. Don't worry, I'm in disguise today, and I'll try and put on my best face. I bet you that stock has reappeared here. That mysteriously disappeared yesterday. Okay, that peg that they emptied out of me yesterday and played a little game is still here. It's still got that price tag on it. That was the stock that was beside it. Where's the stock gone that was shuffled? Okay, that's what I tried to buy yesterday. All this stock here, this is it. Mach3, 8 cartridges. That's the actual correct price, $28. Full to the brim, okay? All that stock yesterday there was up there. Man, I am frippin' angry, I tell you. I am frippin' angry because I caught them out. This is a piece of stock here. The big mistake I made yesterday was I should have gone through the register and purchased this to prove that I went through the register with it. But look what they've done. Deceitful, disgusting behaviour. I'll tell you what, man, it really, really riles me. And the lady who said she was the store manager here, I'm sorry lady, you're not the store manager. Our store managers don't behave in the way that you did with me yesterday. It was disgusting. I'll tell you what, thank God I got that photograph that was taken up here yesterday when the stock was here, because that proved their fraud. And to suggest that somebody had placed a piece of stock from that peg there up to that peg there, well, they haven't just replaced one piece of stock, they actually replaced the whole lot of stock that's in there, because that's what was up on that upper peg there yesterday. It was your mistake, guys, and you need to own up and wear it and not treat customers like absolute trash as you did with me yesterday. Just looking at how this stock is laid out, and I think I understand why this mistake was made, and it was a mistake made by a Woolworths staffer who was pegging stuff. The Mach3 Gillette Razor Blade is a bit of an older style razor blade. I'm surprised it's still around. Next to the Fusion 5, it's a bit strange, although it's the same number of cartridges. And if you take a look up the top here, where the other Mach3 stock is, well, that's where that stock was put. And it sort of makes sense that it's next to its little buddy. So yes, that's how I'm reading what's gone on here. The other thing to know about these areas here in stores like this is there are cameras always looking at you. So there's a camera up there, and that camera has a feed which is coming out of the TV screen there. Look, I can wave to myself. Isn't that miraculous? Another manager I know in major retail said to me, Leo, in front of these stores there's always a store policy. Well, that's the hours there. This is conditions of entry. Okay, so somehow yesterday I didn't lose it, also it would have been thrown out. Everything that happened yesterday would have been recorded on camera. Did I get my bags checked? Maybe I did. And the lost property, blah, blah. Hidden around the corner from that is this here. And maybe I'll have to take a bit of a still here for us to digest what's said there. Maybe you can pause the video and read it if you'd like. I also noticed this notice here near the entry of the store, but I think it's more related to stock losses from the store. Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it? You know, the saddest part about what happened to me at Woolworths Hornsby yesterday is it was all over just a few dollars. I was quite prepared to pay $21 for the razor blades that I was attempting to purchase. Let's take a look at the cattle dog here. and see what specials they got. I'm not ever telling you don't shop here. I'll tell you what, if you do come and shop here, you want to really understand what you're up against. And my complaint is going to go in at state manager level. I'm not going to bother the store manager here with this complaint. But there's one thing that I really learned, and maybe this page is a great example of it. Let me find an item. Let's say this item here, or any of these products here, take a photograph of it. So if it checks out at a different price versus what's on the shelves in store, at least you've got some point of argument. But hey, the argument point I had against the store yesterday got me nowhere. And I still can't believe the way I was treated, the way things were manipulated. That's at the core of this video. That's the consumer affairs side to this. And I think any consumer, if they were treated like that, I mean, imagine how you'll feel. I mean, I know how it feels because that's the way I was treated here. I will be a good person. I'll put the cattle dog where it belongs. But sorry, as for me, Woolworths Hornsby, never ever again.